Hi everyone, team member Mark Sheeran here. Listen, everybody's been asking why we switched to the Skinner Peep sights this year. And there's a whole bunch of reasons. First of all, the owner of Skinner Sights, Andy Larson, was willing to collaborate with us to build the best ghost sight for tracking on the market. And he took our input and really put it into practice. And the aperture, the ghost ring itself is thinner, so it allows more light in. It's all steel construction. It's got a lifetime warranty, and it's also a very elegant sight. So there are some other features as well. The ghost sight itself is dovetailed into the body of the sight, which makes it really, really sturdy, and it can't fall out of adjustment. And between that and the fact that it's all steel, and the Peep sight is optimized for the tracker and the still hunter, it's an amazing sight. So you can go on to bigwoodsbucks.com and get your BWB Tracker Series Peep sight today. All right, good luck on the hunt. Hi everyone, Big Woods team member Mark Sheeran here. Many of you know that I have a passion for helping people solve their addictions permanently. As a matter of fact, me and my team have spent the last 31 years helping more than 20,000 people move on from their addictions. So know this. If you or someone you love want to move on from an addiction for good, and you don't want to be stuck in a rehab or 12-step meetings or endless therapies, then you might want to learn about the Freedom Model and the St. Jude Retreat. To learn more, give us a call at 888-424-2626. All calls are confidential. Here's that number again, 888-424-2626, or go to soberforever.net for more information. I really look forward to helping you end your addictions for good. Here's that number one last time, 888-424-2626. Take care.
This is the Big Woods Bucks Podcast. Come explore the big woods and timber in North America with your host, Maine Master Guide and deer tracking expert Hal Blood. Listen to Hal and co-hosts Lee Libby and Joe Cruzy as they unlock the secrets of big woods whitetails. Each episode will provide valuable insights into the tried and true system Hal has used for the last 40 years to scout, locate, and hunt mature big woods bucks. Listen and laugh as the crew discusses Hal's legendary adventures and learn how to apply a lifetime's worth of lessons from the big woods to your own hunting and outdoor adventures.
Welcome to the Big Woods Bucks Podcast. I'm your host, Hal Blood, sitting here with my cohorts, Joe Cruzy.
Hello.
And Bad Lee Libby.
Howdy.
And Good Lee Shands is joining us.
Hello.
We're down here at Parlin Lodge, just wrapped up the first week of deer hunting.
How'd we do?
I think we did pretty good for the first week. No snow. Hung a couple of bucks. Guys seen a bunch of deer and a bunch of sign, and what more can you ask for, right?
It kept pretty much in line with the percentages you threw out on the last podcast.
Yeah.
Success rate.
Yeah, it's not high. But
that's our tagline. Come to Big Woods Outfitters. Success rate is not high.
Yeah.
We're not high.
Yeah, but what I did notice for the first week, there was exceptionally more sign than usual is what I see. Not as much scrapes, but the signpost rubs are, hit up pretty good for the first week. I've seen years when you could hardly find any fresh sign at all in the whole first week, but I've been cruising around looking at some of them, and I was surprised at how many there are that are shined up good.
I was surprised at how many cameras I found on signpost rubs this year.
That's because you hunt where everybody else does.
I went
I'm surprised.
I went right where you told me to go, Hal.
Yeah, but you notice I don't go there.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
that's noted. I'm going to stick to my own spots.
Joe, I think you ought to go down to the Walmart parking lot in Skowhegan. I've heard there's deer down there.
There's snow, too, out back. Deep.
There's a signpost rub on one of them telephone poles right out the end of the lot.
Yeah. Is there a camera on it?
No, I took it down.
Yeah, well, we did get our shot of snow for the first week.
I found some today in one little shady pocket. But
Yeah, we actually had some on some of the logs that,
Right.
that weren't on the ground. There was some on them, but
I was surprised it hung around so long for as little as it was.
It was cold this week, yeah.
Yeah.
Today was the first day we ended up, you felt like you could walk around in the woods a little bit today without spooking them too bad, because by 10 o'clock the leaves were softened up good.
Yeah.
Still noisy.
Yeah.
Noisy as shit.
Well, we had a little wind where we was, and it was pretty good walking around.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so we had a little snow, got to see a couple of deer tracks. Chased one buck for 10 minutes and went out of the snow.
I didn't check at the tagging station. What's the best buck that they tagged this week? down there?
220, I think.
220?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yep.
That's gonna change next week, and
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
it's gonna start. We'll start adding them on. Bucks are gonna start moving a lot more next week, I think.
Yeah, they'll start some. It doesn't look like it's going to be a cold week next week. It's actually showing like a little warmer than this week, but that could change. You see a week forecast, and then tomorrow the whole thing's changed.
Well, the biggest thing is it's showing precip for next week.
Oh, it is?
Towards the end of the week, yep.
Yeah, Tuesday night, I think, and
Tuesday night?
and then towards the end of the week. So, who knows? In the mountains and in elevation, we might have some snow.
You never know.
Yeah. So
That would be good.
We can't worry about it.
you got on a good one though this week, right? In that little bit of snow you had.
Yep. Yeah, real good one, real big one. It was kind of funny because, anywhere there's mountains, them bucks early, they do hang up there, the big ones. And that's about where the snow line was. Early it come down a ways, and then as it warmed up, especially on the south side, it took a beating. But there was, we were just hunting for a track, and we was up in the green, and trying to stay up pretty high. But we went a long ways before we found that track. We probably covered 3-4 miles. And there was, right there was a bunch of does dinging around at the upper end of the cuts, and that buck had come down, almost missed it, because I was kind of looking at some of the other tracks. A couple of them were running tracks, and I was just trying to figure out what was going on, and all of a sudden, and there was a little trail there, like up in the edge of the green. And I said, that's a bigger track there, and I got looking at it, and I said, wow, that's a good one. But it was kind of funny. He just came down about to the edge of the cuts, and he turned, and he went right back up again. And then he just started feeding. And I told my hunter, Roger, I said, this buck's going to be right here. I said, he's feeding. We hadn't gone, I don't know, we'd gone 50 to 100 yards on it and come to a bed. And he got up and he was feeding again. I said, this thing's right here. We got to just ease along. But everything was against us. It was steep uphill, like a 45-degree angle. The wind's right behind us, and there's no way to get around anything. It's a bunch of, like, ravines with ledges in between them. So I said, we just got to go as easy as we can and poke up through. And we went a little further, and he made 3 scrapes. And then he kept feeding. He'd go up against a log with, not a log, but a blowdown with moss, and he'd pick around, and he's laying right here. And I kept looking up, and we'd come along a ledge on the left, and he kind of went up near it, fed on this spruce with some moss, and then he got back kind of around the edge in the ravine. So I was peeking. I was taking one step, and I was trying to peek over the top of that and going easy. And when it got where I could see over the top, I thought he might be feeding, catch him like that, but no such luck. And then he came down, he turned abruptly to the left, and that was a little flat on top of that ledge. And he walked over, and it dropped down like stepping down a step, maybe 2 feet. And he laid right there, and he laid there, and he'd get up. It was melted out. He'd get up, and he laid again beside it. And it wasn't melted. He must have stood up and laid down. And then when he went, he didn't bolt from his bed. He kind of hot-footed a little bit down off the edge, and then he bounded, and he went right up the ravine. So when I was peeking over, if he'd have been there then and we had jumped him, right then, we'd have seen him easy enough. But I don't know if the wind carried up over and he smelt us, or maybe we snapped a stick or something there. But anyways, he headed over the mountain. When he got to the south side, the sun was starting to come then. It was probably, well, it was right around noon, because I remember we picked his track up like 50 yards after we ate a sandwich. Got up, went 50 yards, and got his track, so it was getting towards noon. In the sun, it was cloudy in the morning, then the sun started peaking, and it took a beating on the south side, and he went right down out of the snow there, but it was fun while it lasted anyways.
Didn't someone else pick it up? I think he's right behind Good Lee.
He don't want me to say I got cut off. He don't like that term.
I think he knew you were on it. That's what Brian's known for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I told Roger, I said, Brian's on the other side of the mountain. I said, what's the odds that he'll come along the right time to pick that track up? I thought to myself, there's no way he'll be by that area already. But nope, went right down. He was coming along on a smaller one and seen that one and got on it. But
can't blame him, can you?
No, not for very long. It was one of them tracks that was about as big as you see in the woods. Dew claws are about 2 inches behind his hoofs, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How about you, Lee? How'd you guys do?
We ended up, I had a signpost that a lady shot a really nice buck with me, like I think it was 3 years ago. And it was kind of funny because the year she shot the buck in there, the signpost was all rubbed up, and then he had him and the other bucks, they had a rub line and a scrape line going right down that little drainage. But the last 2 years when I've guided up here, there's been a little bit of sign in there, but not as much. So when I scouted, I came up on Saturday and scouted to get ready for the clients, and I went in there, and that signpost, it's not a real big one, but it's a good size one. It's probably, maybe 8 inches through, and they've rubbed it so bad on one side, it's dead on one side, but the other side that's alive, they've started rubbing that. And that was all stove up, so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, huh. So I started walking down that little drainage, and sure enough, every little brown ash down through there had been, greened up, and then they had a scrape line. Wherever there wasn't a rub, there was a scrape. So I had my guys in there, but we ended up 2 different mornings on, I think it was Tuesday morning. You gotta get in there, right? So Tuesday morning, we went in and we jumped a deer off the scrape line, but couldn't see it. That was in the dark. And then I think it was Friday, we got in there a little later, and it was light enough to see, and it was right at the signpost. There was actually 2 of them. So, but I could feel the wind was kind of blowing like in my face, and I thought, they just heard us. They didn't, whatever it was. So I gave out a couple of bull grunts because I knew there was moose in the area too, and I told my client, I said, before I sit you down, I'll just grunt like a bull when we're walking down there, because I don't think they know what we were. They just heard us and bolted. So I grunted like a bull a couple of times, and he said about a half hour after I left, a great big 50-inch bull came right up, down through the cut and came right up to him.
I hadn't heard that.
So, you didn't hear that?
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah, the guy, he used to
deer hunting, Lee. We're deer hunting.
I know it, but like I said, we were making more noise than a deer, so I said, I'll do a couple of bull grunts, and maybe those deer will come back to whatever they were doing. And instead, and he's been to Patton. He said he used to go up there, I think, like 10 years, and so he's seen plenty of moose, but he said, he said it was a big one, over 50 inches. And I'm like, well, wrong season.
Yeah.
So, and then yesterday I went into a new spot, and I was telling some of the guys, you always got to check out, like, this road. It's softwood cuts on both sides, and they've gone by. There's not a lot of sign in there. But I thought, I had my clients both sitting, and so I said, I'll just do a little extra scouting. So I went down this little spur road off it, and probably, it wasn't last winter, but I'd say it was probably 2 winters ago, somebody went in there and cut, and then they pulled the bridge. Well, right where that softwood ends, there's a beautiful maple hardwood ridge, and I really think that these sugaring operations are going to be the savior in the Northwoods, because it looks to me, I don't know if they're going to put one in there, but they cut that. It was just like the old days. It looked like they went in with a cable skidder, and they selective cut it. Yeah. And the trails were nice. You could go in there and walk. You could see. It was just, it was beautiful. And they left all the big maples. So I saw a little, I think it was probably a 6. I don't know. It was all in between his ears. So I took my guy in there this morning and walked him around, and there's plenty of sign up there, but I haven't found the buck sign yet. So those were my 2 finds for the week, was that signpost that we've killed a big buck on before, and then a new spot that looks like it's going to really be something. So,
Good.
Yep. Kind of the same story this week. You say I'm where everyone is, which it seems to be. It's all Vermont cameras.
That's going to bother. That's going to bother him.
No, but never saw a hunter in the woods all week.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about they bump into someone here or there, but we put the miles on this week, and same thing. Saw a sign. We found one spot that had a bunch of scrapes, but that was really the only scrapes I saw a couple here and there, but really not a lot of scrapes.
No,
except for that one spot.
I didn't see a ton of scrapes either. Some in the ones I did see, most of them were just little stuff, getting going. Till today. Today I found that one was like a double one on either side of that spruce tree there, and he spent some time digging. He dug and dug and dug, broke the limbs off the spruce, and it was kind of funny because it was in the hardwoods. It was one little spruce there, and it was kind of hardwoods with some of that witch hobble and some winter beech mixed in and stuff. But it was right near where they come off. They kind of travel down this ridge anyways to get from one side to the other. But we did one of
Hal's favorite things this week. We sat all day one day.
Oh.
Yeah. We went into a spot that I've been in before in the past. And there's always the bucks pass through there. It's not what I'd say like we were right there, in their bedroom or anything, but there's always, whenever there's snow, even early, the bucks are always passing through this piece. So with the conditions the way they were and loud walking and all that stuff and being cold, I thought, well, if you're willing to, I'll do it. We'll sit all day. And we sat all day.
Yeah.
And we didn't see a thing.
I told my guys were saying, well, some of the guys are seeing, does every day. And I said, well, if you walk around in all these crunchy leaves, you're probably going to see the tail end of does. But if you want to shoot a buck, if you sit a little bit more, and I don't like to sit either, but on a week like this, if you got a signpost with a scrape and a rub line coming, so sometimes you got to make that. One of my guys couldn't walk anyway; he needed to sit. So that's tough, though. What are you going to
do? This was the second year that Steve hunted with me, and the more you get to know someone, you develop rapport, and so the conversation and everything definitely helps the day. If you had to sit there alone, it would probably drive you crazy, but good conversation and sometimes a little bit too much laughing probably. And
we have a
good time.
At night he comes down and sits by me at the dinner table and said, geez, I wish Joe would shut up once in a while. I think we could get a deer.
I bet he did. He also said he wants Brian to guide for him, and then he said he wants Roger to guide for him. And I said, hey, go for it. It'll give me the week off. No, we have a good time, and we saw deer this week. We didn't see any horns this week. And, it's tough without snow. It just is up here. You got to adapt a little bit, do something different, and
yeah, you got to have a lot of luck. You got to keep yourself in with the bucks travel and making their sign, and it's still they ain't there all the time. You got to be there at the right time, and there's a lot of luck involved with that.
Yeah. Most of the guys that had trail cameras out on the signpost, you noticed almost every one of them, the pictures of the buck are at night. They're not traveling during the day yet. It's all night pictures.
Yeah.
Another couple of weeks when they're chasing the does, then you'll see some more.
Yeah, it seems to definitely. It's always behind up here anyway. You see big bucks getting killed down south, and
they're it's about a week ahead down there.
It's definitely different for sure. I know. There's been quite a few over 250 from what I've seen. I say quite a few. I've probably seen 6 or 7 that people have posted. Which
they had an easy winter. I think they're in good shape.
I think you're
going to see some good ones come around here, as soon as we get some conditions
Absolutely.
and the rut starts kicking in a little bit. Next week, I think, will be better. Next week, you can start to entice them a little bit with some rattling, grunting. They're getting a little antsy, some big ones. So
Yeah, I tried some of that this week, rattling. And
Next
you
week,
never know. If there's a buck, the way I always look at it is it can never hurt. You're not going to scare him away. And
Right.
if there's a buck close by, he's going to come. I mean, you rattled and
yeah,
you
we
nailed
tried
that
it one morning. That was that noisiest morning there. I mean, it was bad. So we got down to the backside of some 3-4 year old cuts, and it turned into some older cuts coming in from the other way. Kind of a neat spot there, but I like taking that edge as a brook down in the bottom, the softwood. And we got down there, and there was a cedar tree that had blown down, and they were already nipping on that. There was a bunch of tracks there and stuff, and it was right at the edge of that where it goes into the older cuts with this good cover and all that. I said, well, let's try that. So it was really quiet. We sat down and rattled. I had one of them little contraptions there, and I rattled a little bit a couple times. I think we probably sat there for half an hour.
that long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
was it? Have you got that same rack pack that you gave me?
Yeah.
I love that thing. When you gave that to me, I thought it was a gag gift. I looked at that and I said, what a piece of junk. I thought it was a gag gift, and I love that thing.
Yeah, it carries easy,
And it sounds good.
Yeah. So anyways, we got up and started moving along that edge, and I hadn't gone, 50 yards, and I could see this big buck track punched in the leaves, and I go, that looks like it's got to be last night. I mean, it was crinkled right up fresh, And I took a couple more steps, and I look up ahead of me, and there's a scrape there, really more like a paw, and it wasn't much. I was walking over to that, and I looked just beyond it, and there was a rub on a small spruce, thrashed right up, and it was still green. And I'm like, I said, Roger, I said, this ain't old. I said, and so I looked down in that little paw, and there was a monster track in it. I go, and I just looked at it. I kind of there was a couple leaves there, and I pushed them out of the way, and I hear whew, down over the hill there in the ravine, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I snorted back at it, and we sat down there for a little bit. I grunted a few times. I could hear it walking in the leaves. I don't know what it was, but it didn't blow like a doe, like it didn't do that, just a couple of them long ones. We waited around another 15, 20 minutes and nothing, so we kept moving. But I don't know if that buck was within 100 yards from where I'd rattled, so I don't know if he happened to be coming along. And I know he had to hear it. He was right there, So, but anyway, that was our close call. Other than the 8-pointer we saw, we let go.
So someone called badly and said, you have to come over.
Yeah.
So I'm here.
Before we let Bad Lee talk, I just got to give one Bad Lee story. I've been telling everybody that last week of moose season, Stephen and I helped some guys get their moose out. So one night it was pretty late, and I was getting my clients down to Pittston Farm, and I saw two young guys, and they were from Fort Kent. They had French accents, and I said, well, if you guys are still here when I come back through, I'll help you get your moose out. So I was gone probably an hour and a half. I came back, and the guy looks at me, and he said, are you Goodly or Badly? And I said, I'm Goodly, of course. If it was Badly, I'd have just drove by.
I'd have stopped for a tenderloin.
Well, this was the other thing. They tried to pay me, and I said, no. I said, if it was Badly, he'd have took it. But, yeah, they're from Fort Kent, and he said him and all of his buddies, they listen to the podcast up there. So
Cool.
We're reaching into Canada.
Nice. No, I come over last night. It's fun.
I knew you were here
greet.
before I even got here.
How?
I told you I run into.
Oh, yeah.
There was some guys.
Nobody can keep a secret.
There was some guys. We were on just a little spur road. Didn't go anywhere. I'd pulled in there to park yesterday, and we just got out onto that road. We were like 150 yards from the truck. It was down over the hill, and these guys come along and roll the window down, and I could see the navigator had his atlas map out. I was back, too. They knew who I was. They said, hey, Hal, if you need a ride. And I go, I said, no, the truck's right there. This road doesn't go anywhere. Oh, yeah, we haven't been down here. So I said, we'll get out of your way. I said, just go down, turn around. I said, I'm just going to get in the truck and get out of here. And then the other guys, he said, Lee's just ran into Lee on the Holub Road. He give me a ride. And I go, was it good Lee or bad Lee? And he goes, I don't know. I said, what do you have for a truck? He said, a Toyota. I said, oh, that's bad Lee. Good Lee's got a Ford.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
No, I went for a walk today in some old stomping ground. See 5 does, 1 small spike horn, 2 moose, a dozen partridge.
That's a good day.
Yeah, it was. I just was on a mission. I wasn't sneaking too much, but that wind helped.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to check, but I didn't see. I checked some old stuff, and I didn't see any buck activity at all where I was. And those 6 does were within a 1.5 mile square. 3 of them were on one end of the ridge, and 3 of them on the other end. So, but they were all in groups of 3. So,
yeah,
that one little spike horn was a yearling or something, but he was still with Mama. But no, that's about it.
It's going to help in a couple of years. They're in there logging on the back side of that right now in a spot that I like to hunt. So
yeah.
I hope they do. There's a spot in there. If they logged it, it'd be really nice. And they're in there. I drove in on Sunday because they had signs up, no hunting. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to hunt there. But I said, geez, I want to see how close. I've got a signpost up there that I've had trail camera on and stuff for years. And they're probably within 300 or 400 yards of it, but they're not cutting down in that piece. They're going right up the side of the mountain, and that road goes in there a long ways. I hope they go up there a ways and cut. That'll be nice.
Yeah, that's one of the nicest. There's a spot up there you can easily see 200 yards down through that hardwood ridge.
Oh
Yeah.
And we bitch about all the cutting they do, but then you stumble onto a place like that, and you're like, they haven't touched it. There's a road right to it, but for some reason there's maple trees up there 24 inches across on the butt, and they haven't.
When you get north of town, it hasn't been cut as bad. When you get north of town, it's cut less than it is south of town.
Landowners make a big difference.
Yep.
Down around here, it's pretty tough. You know, I mean, plenty of deer, just tougher.
Harder to hunt.
Yeah, it's just so thick.
I see some stuff that back in 2006 when I started guiding for Hal was fresh cuts. And now those are 16 years old and you can start to see through them. You know what I mean? Like, I could send a bullet up through there.
Yeah, that's why I tell you, I always go back to them places like 15, 20 years later because everybody's given up on them. You know, they got grown up too much. And sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse, sometimes they're the same. But you got to keep checking them. Everything rotates around, you know.
And it's funny with the overstory, you know, it doesn't let any light in. So the ground's clean. Like, there's not a bunch of shit growing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
did anybody get into... we found one spot today that had some beech in it, and there was a few beech nuts in there. But did anybody get into any place where there was a lot of beech nuts?
So I got to ask a tree guy this, but we call it winter beech because it doesn't lose the leaves, but is that just a little beech tree?
Yeah. Those are just small.
Yeah, I had that question before too.
You did?
Yeah, I asked Hal that because I was like, "What's?"
It's winter because the
difference?
leaves are on still in the winter. You know, the snow finally. I think half of them, the buds from the next year, push them off.
So was there beech here before? Because I don't ever remember going in. Like down south, you come right into a beech knob, and it's just beech trees and beech.
It's miserable.
We went through a lot of these here die off though.
Really?
They get that.
They get them bumps in it.
Beech scale disease, and they die off. So there's very rare to find like a nice big old beech tree here.
Yeah.
They're always dead. They don't.
I was gonna say I can't remember seeing a big old beech tree.
No, I've seen a few, but boy, not very many. But the mountain ash, I could see that was out. But the beech nuts, we did see that day in the snow. We see a couple of bear tracks too. They were out. There's still a few mountain ash berries around, and they were kicking around.
I'd kill one of them on a day like today.
Yeah.
Is it still part of the license?
If you're a resident.
Residents.
Oh, okay, that's the difference.
Non-resident's got to have a tag.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never had
I get
I
into
remember years ago I saw that, but I never really had much interest in shooting a bear. But
If you wanted to shoot a bear, you should have shot that 600-pounder we saw in Alaska.
we were watching that video last night, and Brian's like, I would have shot that thing in a second. I do regret not shooting that and
That was a
using
big
that
bear.
tag. I mean, I just threw my tag away, But, yeah, that was a mistake.
Have you found somebody to edit that footage yet?
They haven't looked. No, I just,
too much going on, Lee.
yeah. We'll get through this, and then we'll do it this winter. But we just backed it up and made sure we had it somewhere else, so if the card comes up missing, we still have the footage.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I know a guy that lost some footage once.
You get called to the office for it?
Oh, yeah.
It was his own, so it wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
it was my own,
Didn't we tell you that story before?
I'm sure.
It just adds to the bad Lee legend. See, good Lee never lost any footage.
Yeah.
I even one time we lost
Be
some.
careful.
Yeah, right?
Well, we ended up. I finally did find it, and I sent it to Chris. But I'll never forget one time Hal and I were turkey hunting, and we had a bunch of deer in front of us. You remember there was like half a dozen turkeys and 3 or 4 deer right in front of us, and you said, "Hey, do you know Hal Blood?" And the turkeys all went blah 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 blah. So I had that footage, and then I thought I'd lost it, but then I found it and sent it to Chris. So we do have that archived somewhere. That was like a little zoo right there we had that morning. That was fun.
Yeah. I think it was 5 jakes, and one of them was like a dominant jake. He had like a 5-inch beard, and he was strutting and everything else. Like he was like 20 feet from me, wouldn't leave. And Lee's over there on the other side videoing and stuff. And so the running joke is always, we talk about that. Mike Stevens got that going, hollering at a turkey saying, Hal Blood, and they gobble. I don't know how many people we've told that, and they tried it, and they gobble back when you holler at them. Hal Blood? I did that in the woods. That thing.
You think they do it if you say John Smith, or is it just Hal Blood?
I don't know. Have to try it.
Yeah, we'll try it. No.
Yeah.
What
You
else?
guys tired too?
Oh, yeah.
Tired?
Libby and I are going to have to drive after we get out of here.
Yeah.
Me too.
What are you tired from?
Sitting.
You slept till 10 this morning, right?
No.
Did you guide today? Did you work today, Hal?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Sure, I've been cooking breakfast for guys all week.
Oh.
Why?
He stepped into that one.
I had a slight problem with my record keeping. Had a couple extra guys show up.
Did you double check next week? Because I actually had the guy that's coming with me. He's got someone on American that he said never heard anything. So he was.
I gotta revisit everything with Liz again. She sent me an email today.
Okay, they're coming tomorrow.
Yeah. I told her I'd get on it tonight.
Okay.
My,
You need a secretary.
my spare time. Yeah. I might have to hire her to take care
Well,
of
you're
that
not
stuff.
tired, so it doesn't matter. You can work all night.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Badly, you look like you're ready to say something. Go ahead, spit it out.
No.
We haven't had a lot of laughs in this one.
No, I know, because we're tired. It's definitely different. But no,
Yeah.
I got nothing to say. I want snow.
That's it.
I'm not much on bare ground hunting. It's kind of, I don't know.
Makes for a little bit of a long week. I mean, it's tough for sure. Snow just something about it when you get out and get on a track. It re-energizes you, ready to roll.
Especially you get a day with a fresh snow and the wind's howling and you can just smash out the miles.
It's coming.
and,
Yeah, it'll come.
Sooner or later.
Yep. Meanwhile, I enjoy taking the days, even on the bare ground, and going and
Oh, there's never a bad
Oh,
day. in
it's
the
better
woods.
than
for
working.
stuff.
There's never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like looking for
Better
the
than working.
sign,
If nothing else, it gives you a place to start when it gets here.
Oh, yeah. I look for sign more than I'm looking for deer. That's probably why I don't see that many on bare ground. I'm always looking around for
Yeah.
a signpost rub or a scrape or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of new country this week. I always like seeing something different.
Yeah.
Rugged as it was. Pretty rugged up in that.
Yeah.
No house
That
says
place
it's
that you-
flat.
Oh, it's flat all
He
right.
said last night.
Couple knobs here and there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Couple knobs.
I can't believe you took the bait.
Oh, I took it.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
the directions to get in there was turn right at that big rock and then take a left at that tree that's bent over, and then you walk about 100 yards and squoze down between those two elm trees that are tipped over.
And from there on, it's good.
It's like, that place sounds good. We'll go check it out.
Yeah.
I checked it.
Yeah. Well, I can send you to some more good spots.
No, I'm good right now.
Yeah.
Good right now.
Hey, Hal here. I want to talk a little bit about our partnership with OnX Hunt. I've been using it for a while now, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm not a very techie person, but the OnX app is it's a real time saver. I remember the days when we poured over topo maps everywhere we was going to go and stuff, and I don't do that quite as much anymore. Where it's really helped me is scouting, whether it's deer scouting, or moose, or even turkey hunting in the spring, which I do. It really helps out. I don't have to spend as much time running around the truck burning up the gas. I'm just basically using my OnX. Got it on my phone. Don't even carry a GPS anymore. So I just download the areas where I'm going to be hunting, whether it's up north moose hunting, and I use it mostly on the satellite imagery. I like to see the cuts and the clearings and the turkey hunting, the hidden fields and stuff. But everybody's using it now, from the game wardens to land surveyors, and just a great tool. And with our partnership with OnX, if you use a code BWB, you're going to receive 20% off on your first premium or elite memberships. And you just go to onxmaps.com/hunt. You'll be glad you did. Good luck on the trail.
We do have a lot of woodchucks in the camp tonight, though, huh? All week. The Vermonters are they're not even trying to sneak around anymore. They just come into the lodge, which is good.
I don't know if there's that many from. I don't know. There's.
Yeah, most of the Vermonters are on their own.
Yeah, there was. Well, there was a few from Vermont.
Yeah.
But we got a contingency from New York. Couple from New York, I think. Contingencies.
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Yes.
I did
Vermont starts next Saturday, right? We ought to run over there.
Yeah, right.
I did notice on Sunday when I was scouting, though, that it's kind of like the old days. You see a lot of green license plates up here again, because all those guys that were going to Ontario, a lot of them are coming back to Maine.
Yeah, they like coming early because then they hunt here and then get ready for their season. And they
We'd do
hunt
the
over
same
there.
thing, though. I'd do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder why they don't start till the 11th, right?
Yeah, but they go later. I mean, they got...
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they got a muzzleloader season that goes like till the middle of December or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We got one.
We had...
That southern muzzleloader's till 2 weeks in December, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We get 2 weeks down.
2 weeks
the
after
lines
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear the story on it, but we had someone come out of the woods late last night that was on their own.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody
Had to call the warden service, and
didn't have good communication with their guide, I guess, so...
They're alive.
Yeah,
good.
they're all set. We was a little worried, but guy just misjudged his time, I guess. Getting out.
by 3 hours.
Yeah, by 3 hours.
That must have been fun. It was dark last night.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to seem nice to get
worked
back
out
to
all right.
get back to regular time, though, too. What's up with that? Instead of changing it at Halloween like they usually do
I
that
know.
Sunday, it's a week late, so we're hunting till friggin' 6 o'clock. By the time you get back to the lodge and take a shower, you come over here at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Get to bed at 10 and
That will be nice next week.
yeah.
Yeah, go back to regular
Tonight,
time.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, tonight,
Tonight.
we switch them back. Yeah. Get back to normal here.
Yep.
Nice. Well,
I
been
don't
a nice
know.
week.
Been a good week. Lee's anxious to get home.
Both of them.
Short and sweet.
Wonder if anybody out here around the bar's got anything to say.
I don't know.
Where's them fellas that shot the deer?
I think one of them left. I think.
Oh, he did.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Whitey over there. He's on his phone. He was ragging on me, but he's over there.
Whitey Bulger.
Yeah, he's over there like a teenage girl texting away.
Hey, you guys would be proud of me. I ended up, it's the most text I've ever done in a week. Where I was hunting, we had a little cell service, and one of my guys, he kept texting me, when he was on his stand, if he was seeing something, or sent me pictures of a moose or whatever. And I actually sent some texts this week. First time I've ever done that in the deer woods. Now, I'm not bragging about it. I'm just telling you guys that I am capable of sending the
Full
text.
disclosure.
Now, wait a minute now. And you did it from a flip phone, right?
I did it from a flip phone,
See,
but
now
I did it.
That's talented right there.
Yeah.
If you can text on a flip phone, you're in.
Old school.
Yeah.
Old school cool.
He was making a TikTok while he was up there, probably.
Well, these guys, every morning we were getting up. I had my wind-up alarm clock over there in the guide shack, so that thing would go off faithfully. Didn't have to worry about setting your phones. It was all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because that's a big problem, setting your phone.
yeah.
Those things are so unreliable.
I did notice that the new tower they put in Jackman really changed coverage out there. Like,
Yeah.
you be walking along in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden you'll feel your phone vibrate. Messages
Getting
coming
back
in.
to my wind-up alarm clock, this is a little bit of a funny story. We're in a house with like 7 different rooms in it, and when that alarm would go off, everybody in camp would get up and get going. I was in a tent with Joe in Alaska, and that tent's about 8-foot circle, and that thing would go off in the morning, and he would sleep right through it. I'd have to go over and shake him awake.
Yep. He gave me a kiss on the cheek and said, "Honey, it's time to get up."
Oh, God.
I'd get up and get his coffee for him, make his oatmeal, and then
Yeah.
get him up.
I felt like I was at home.
Yeah.
That's a good campmate right there.
Hey, Brad, you got anything to say about your deer?
Oh, we got signs.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you see a sign, Lee?
What's it say?
How's the boat?
How's the boat? Well,
You want to sit down here?
Yeah, he's going to, one of the deer slayers is going to.
Goodley's signing off. He's headed to Scowtown.
no, take my
Hey,
spot.
wait.
I'm out of here.
Guys.
Anybody want to take my spot? Yeah, they're jumping.
All right, step up to the mic there, Brad, the deer slayer.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, where you from?
Benson, Vermont.
See?
No,
Woodchuck.
it is a Vermont deer,
Woodchuck.
Woodchuckville, right?
Woodchuck hunting.
Yeah,
Bare ground woodchuck hunter.
yeah.
What'd you kill this week?
7-pointer.
Nice. What'd it weigh?
176.
Nice.
Yep. Still hunting.
Yeah. I had some tips from a guy that had a lot of years in the woods. So we worked some areas of transition areas between hardwoods and softwoods along some brook. And he just happened to be, I think, headed for an area I saw the day before to bed up for the day. And, it's 90% luck, really. It really is. I just happened to catch behind him, some tracks going by the brook, and then 50 yards, he was looking back at me. So,
Nice.
and that's 90%.
Was it
luck.
snow that day?
Not where I was. Oh, higher elevations.
That's the way you're supposed to do it, though, right?
So, worked for me.
Yeah. Put your time in the woods, be in the right place,
Yeah.
read the sign.
You coming back next year?
Yeah.
Nice.
Me and my son want to come back again. So we had a great week here at Parlin Lodge, and the camp camaraderie, you couldn't ask for anything better. So
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it has been fun this week.
Yeah,
Good
we
Make
had a
sure
good
you
week.
book with Liz, because Hal will overbook you and you'll be sleeping outside.
No, book with Hal. don't call Liz to book.
So,
Oh, shit.
yeah, you got to give me a call in December.
yeah,
Coming to the clinic, too, you said.
yeah, we're both going to come
That's
up and do
fun.
a clinic.
The
so
clinic's fun.
Yeah.
you can always learn one more piece of the puzzle from someone. Everybody has a different outlook on everything we do, and everybody's got something to share.
Yeah.
School's in session every day, and
Yeah.
every day is expensive, right?
Yeah, it's the guys that think they know everything that never going to learn anything, really.
Yeah.
I tell people I learn something every day in the woods. Yeah.
So I had a good
You gotta-
time here. So I hope everybody that listens to your podcast thinks about coming here, because it's worth the trip. So
Did you eat good?
we ate excellent all week long. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next 365 days.
And the drinks will tip over a horse.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got to talk to the girls about that.
Yeah, giving away the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite sandwich this week?
My favorite sandwich was the world-class meatloaf.
The meatloaf, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's mine, but today's chicken dinner
Chicken was
sandwich
pretty
is-
good.
Yeah, that was.
That's
good.
my favorite.
Yeah, it had a little different
Cranberry
Yeah.
sauce.
cranberry taste to it. It was
yeah.
good.
It edges out peanut butter and fluff just by a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That thing was gone by 10.
I actually been taking 2 because I haven't recovered from Alaska yet. I lost 10 pounds. I'm trying to get that back on. So I'm back on my 10 and 2 sandwich schedule.
I wish I had a.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're usually gone by 9:30.
That's breakfast.
Both of them?
No, I got to save one for lunchtime. So.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on
Thank
your
you,
buck.
guys.
And
Yeah, it was nice to drive by. We came by the lodge midday and seeing that second buck was nice to see hanging on the pole.
yeah.
And also, I know a lot of people have been wondering about the webcam. We did have it set up before the season, and it was all set to go. And for some reason, I think a day or two before the hunt started, it something burned up on it. So we got some parts coming. So we're hoping to have the game pole cam going this week.
Okay.
This comes out Monday, so hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday we got it going again.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Well, I guess we better sign off for this week.
Yep.
Get some beauty rest tonight. Tomorrow night, new crew coming in. We'll start all over again. Got anything else to say, boys?
Let's wrap it up. The cookies are gone.
It's time
Let's
to wrap it up.
it up.
So till next week, good luck on the trail.
Hey, Hal here. Hey, one thing I realized as I was getting older is when I was younger, I never really planned for retirement. And so my client for the last couple of years, Jerry Smith, had been talking to me about it a little bit. And I don't know when I'm going to retire, but I definitely got to get ready for it. But Jerry owns a company called the Northern Way Wealth Management. And he's got a program he calls the Northern Way Retirement GPS. And it's a way you can plan to get your finances in order and live your best life, which means time in the woods to track down some big bucks. Because, the problem is not getting enough time in the woods for most people. And, whether it's family or other hobbies or, just financial obligations, it cuts into your hunting time. So Jerry has partnered with Dave Ramsey in his Smart Vest program where he helps folks in his process. And Jerry has partnered with us at Big Woods Bucks to offer you your very own no cost or obligation and Northern Way Retirement GPS. Just call or shoot Jerry a text at 715-551-4181 and mention the promo code BWB. Jerry's going to help you get some retirement time and some more income so you can hunt some more. Good luck on the trail.
Investment advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Northern Way Wealth Management, Retirement Wealth Advisors, and Dave Ramsey are not affiliated.
Hey guys, Joe here. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Lake Parlin Lodge. We're a 4-season lodge located just south of Jackman. We've got cabins, lodge rooms, mini lodge. We're a big snowmobile destination in the winter, full restaurant, bar, all the amenities that you need for your trip. Open obviously through the summer, right on the lake. Kayaks, canoes, all included with the cabin. We also do a lot of weddings, so if you're looking for a destination wedding, we can do a wedding up to 200 people. And, of course, we've got our hunting season, moose season, deer season. So check us out. We're at lakeparlinlodge.com.
Hey, Hal here. Just want to take a minute to talk about the hunting club. And you can join by going right online at bigwoodsbucks.com. But anyways, I've got all my information is going in there. And it's a place where you can get together and look at my films, tips, writings, and all of that. And the best part is there's forums for you to communicate with, the rest of the club members, talk about Big Wood stuff and all of that. So anyways, $36 a year, cheaper than getting a Starbucks once a day. So join up and hope you see you're on there. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail.